Hey everyone, so we have some quick notes today. These notes are finding area of a trapezoid. We'll go find the area of trapezoids. And here's the definition of a trapezoid. One definition, there's like a million of them you can find out there. But it's basically a shape with four sides. See, here's four sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. And a pair of opposite sides are parallel. And sometimes they have this mark on here, but whenever you see this mark on lines, that just means they're parallel. And parallel means they move in the same direction. In algebra, parallel lines have the same slope. And then, to continue, the parallel lines are also called bases. So this is a base, and this is the base. Okay. And sometimes they want to number them, like base 1 and base 2. That way we know which bases we're talking about. To be honest, it doesn't matter which one you call base 1 and base 2. I tend to call the top one base 1 and the bottom one base 2. Or if it's like left and right, I would call the left one base 1 and the right one base 2. And then the two legs, or the two sides that are not parallel, those are called legs. Okay, and this one doesn't take names. It's just a leg and a leg. It's important that we put base 1 and base 2 on here because we do use these in the area formula, and we have to distinguish between the bases. The legs don't matter. Okay. So anyway, in the area formula is base 1 plus base 2 times the height, okay, divided by 2. Oh, and I didn't tell you in here. Usually the height, where's my red pen? So the height always, remember from before, the height always goes up and down like this. Okay, the height is never one of these slanted sides. It may be a leg, but it won't be slanted. It will be straight up and down. Okay, just like how we've been talking about for parallelograms, triangles, squares and rectangles. So the red line up here is the height. Okay. So if we look at this, here's the area formula. It's base 1 plus base 2. Add those up, multiply by the height, and then after you multiply by the height, you divide by 2. Okay. That's pretty much what I put in here. See, add base 1, base 2, multiply by the height, and then divide by 2. Okay, so let's go ahead. Pause this if you need to pause it. I'm going to do some examples, and then we'll be done with the notes. So whenever we do these, it's always good to identify like the different values that we need for the variables for the formula. Like we need to know base 1, base 2, and we need to know the value of the height. Remember, these two are the measures of the lines that are parallel, or the lines that are moving in the same direction. See, this one and this one are moving in the same direction. Now again, I would call the top one B1 and the bottom one B2. So B1 is 6 inches and then B2 is 8 inches. Okay, and the height from these two, the height always goes straight up and down, not slanted like this one slanted. It's going to be this one. So here I would put 8 inches also. Okay, and then all of that I'm going to put in my formula. I'm just rewriting the formula so you see it again. Okay, so B1 plus B2. So I'm going to leave off the units for now and just put 6 plus 8 times the height divided by 2. And again, from the steps up there, add the two bases. 14. 6 plus 8 is 14. And then after you add the two bases, you want to multiply by the height. So 14 times 8 is Let me lower this. 112. And then the last thing you want to do is divide it by 2. So 112 divided by 2 is 56. Okay? And then this was inches, and remember, area is always inches squared. So that's how you find the area. First I put everything in the formula, the 2 bases and the height. Then I add the 2 bases to get 14. Then 14 times 8 is 112. And then the last thing I do is 112 divided by 2, which is 56. Okay. So over here for B, same thing. Figure out base 1. Figure out base 2. Figure out the height. So base 1, again, base 1 I'm going to say is up here. And then base 2 is down here. So it's this distance. And then this distance. And figuring out the distance here is just counting up the squares. It goes 1, 2, 3. It goes 3 across. And this one goes, and again you got to count it from here all the way to here. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across. And then the height, it's not the slanted ones. You got to go through. Let me use my red pen. You got to go through and then put a line that goes straight up and down. And you're going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the height is 5. Okay. And then you put everything inside the formula. Okay, here's the formula. I'm not going to rewrite it. I'm just going to use it again. So if I put everything in the formula, it's going to look like this. Area is B1 plus B2 times the height divided by 2. So I'm gonna work my way this way, horizontal. I'm gonna go across this way. So 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 times 5 is 50. And then 50 divided by 2 is 25. Now this one does not have units. This is just, remember I said if it doesn't have any units in here, we can go ahead and just put our answer. So that would be our answer. 25 for B. And then 56 inches squared for A. Let's do some examples.